Hi, everybody. Welcome back to That's Awesome, the podcast, a podcast where we take a look at why awesome at Iowa State University is truly awesome. Today, we have another guest with us, a special guest, Smita Singh. She's going to be talking a little bit about her involvement in Awesome, and more specifically, her role within our hospitality management program, where she's very experienced in all things hospitality related, especially as it relates to our department. So Smita, thank you for joining on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely. First and foremost, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your role within Awesome, and more specifically, as I mentioned, hospitality management at Iowa State?
Okay. So I joined this program in fall 2017, and I'm a PhD doctoral student over here. And when I joined over here, initially I was involved with like a lot of research responsibilities with the Awesome department. And apart from that, I have also been teaching a course which is managing hospitality human resources, which is a human resource management course with the Awesome department from past 3 years down the line. And over the period of time, I have interacted with like a lot of undergrad and grad students and even the faculty members. And all of them, they are pretty cooperative in providing you like a lot of opportunities to work and interact with the students and maybe involve yourself with the research related to the hospitality and event management. Um, this is all I have like to share with my involvement with the department. Yep.
Perfect. And what made you pursue an interest in Iowa State University specifically, given your undergraduate career and then transition into graduate education?
So my transition to this program, I must say, like is pretty huge. For all those who don't know, I have done my BTech, which is Bachelor's in Engineering in Electronics and Communication Engineering, back from my place, which is India. And in the last year, I started to involve with like a lot of management courses, and that is how I pursued my MBA in marketing management. And after that, when I was working for a company, and I do have an experience of around like 6.5 years working in the corporate profile. And when I was working for the company back at my place, I got involved with like a lot of events, which were not even national events, but even international events. And I must say, my company was the first one to host the Formula One motor racing, like back in 2011 as well. So, like I have been involved with like a lot of international events, not even back at my place, but also internationally. And that is how I thought of doing a doctoral program in hospitality management. And that is how I came over here with Iowa State University and started working with the Awesome department. Mhm.
That's amazing to hear. It's actually quite interesting to hear that you initially for your bachelor's you attended for engineering, as you said, and then you
Yes.
moved to marketing, and
Mhm.
obviously right now you're in hospitality. So
Mhm.
it's interesting to see that transition and how you've grown and developed like that. So
Mhm.
what interests you specifically about the hospitality management? Was there something that stuck out to you, or did you not feel fulfilled in these other areas that you also studied?
So, if I talk about hospitality management program, first of all, it offers great job and career opportunities to
Mhm.
all the people. And apart from that, if even if I don't talk about your career working within the hospitality industry, it's still the research related to this kind of field is growing, right? And we can see the increasing trends. So let me talk about my little bit about my dissertation topic because
Sure.
it's more related to the technology in the hospitality and events management.
Mhm.
So we can see that it's growing over the period of time, and even the journals and the international journals right now during COVID-19 time, I think the impact had been huge because all of them they are going and there's a transition to a touch-free environment, touchless environment, and in which technology plays a major role. Um, Apart from that, another motivation which I can feel while working in this field is the teaching, right? This kind of field is growing over the period of time. And after interacting with like a lot of undergrad students over the period of time and teaching them, like, about the human resources, I still feel that, this is a kind of field which needs like more awareness, like, with the people who are not even opting for hospitality management programs. And to be very honest, the place I belong to, like India, over there hospitality management, they still don't have many doctoral programs. They're still growing, and they are still like, incorporating such kind of programs into their education system. But still, in many of the countries, this thing is still lacking, especially like, I can still talk about my country because I have been there for a longer period of time. That's the thing. So I think the only motivation with the hospitality management program is to study more, work in the research field, because I'm a grad student, a PhD student. So research is always and has always been my top priority. So that's the thing.
It very well said. It's interesting to see how all your areas of study also fit so well together, especially during a time like this, as you mentioned, with COVID-19 and how
Mhm,
everything is going
mhm.
touchless. And so, what are some reasons you believe people are attracted to Iowa State? Hospitality management is undoubtedly a very esteemed program. We pride ourselves in being one of the top programs in the country.
Mhm.
What specifically attracted you?
So, first of all, I told you before that, my country is not having many good hospitality management or event management programs,
Mhm,
especially at the doctoral level, right? Second thing is, like, when I was coming here to US, I was pretty sure that what exactly I need to do in this program. Iowa State, definitely it has like, first of all, I have been associated with ISSO and I worked there for like around 2 years. I
mhm,
saw over the period of time that Iowa State is a kind of place which welcomes diversified cultures, like, from all over the world. People are coming, studying over here. Apart from that, I feel the faculty over here is pretty cooperative. Like, they know it very well, like, how to make a transition of a student. And if I talk about myself, when I came over here, to be very honest about it, I didn't had much uh, information about conducting the research, how it needs to be done, how the paper needs to be published. But
mhm,
over the period of time, with the help of the faculty members, and of course, like, with the help of my major professors and everyone, I was able to come up with that thing. Apart from that, I think hospitality management, as you already told me, that, it's ranked 15th, I think so, according to the latest statistics which I know about this program.
mhm.
And this is all, like, I can say that, these are the main characteristics because of which Iowa State University is still a renowned one and will always remain the renowned one. uh, so mhm.
I'm glad to hear that you had a great transition and into the past, awesome affiliates that I've talked to on this podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mhm.
them have mentioned uh, how valuable and how easy it is to transition, especially if you come from another country and you aren't sure how things are supposed to work. You're not sure where your place is specifically within Awesome, and I think that's another area of pride that we definitely like to promote. Whereas um,
Mhm.
we like to help people, and
Yes.
we want to make
Mhm.
sure that they succeed in the areas that they're interested in.
Yes.
So as you mentioned, you were involved with ISSO, uh,
Mhm.
and I know that you're also involved with NAFSA and ICRE and PCMA and INTACH, all those different organizations in some fashion, correct?
If I talk about INTAC, that is a kind of association which is an NGO.
Mm-hmm.
So I have worked for the NGO for during my internships when I was doing my MBA program.
Okay.
But all the other associations you have told me right now, they are associated. I became associated with them when I started pursuing my doctoral program.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the associations which you have told me, with ISSO, I have worked for around like 2.5 years. So I have started my journey over there as a grad assistant, and I was involved with orientation programs with the orientation team and looking after the international housing for the international students.
Mm-hmm.
And my responsibilities involved coordination with the Department of Residence. And apart from that, I was also involved in organizing international graduation ceremonies every fall and spring. And that was a kind of thing which gave me a lot of exposure with the diversified culture, like, how to work along within the organization, how to
Mm-hmm.
coordinate with different other students, because we all know it very well that when a new student, especially an international student, comes here to US, it's kind of cultural differences they feel initially, and they have to be like very clear about, like, where they are living, the kind of surrounding they will be in. And ISSO provided me that kind of exposure over the period of time. So have also worked along with a little bit coordinating activities with the orientation team as well, wherein um, along with the orientation team, we used to provide orientation to the new international students and the new incoming students about the campus and everything. So that has been a great exposure for me as an international student, because being an international student, sometimes it's very tough to educate students who are coming internationally, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for you, it's the first time, right? So it was a kind of exposure. And if I talk about the PCMA thing, I had given a presentation along with my professor and one more colleague over there about creating open educational resources, and it was all related to the event management field. And it was along with my major professor and one more colleague who have worked over there uh, for this kind of research.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I keep myself involved with like a lot of conferences for the research work, because as a part of my PhD program, that is the core thing which I need to do always.
Mm-hmm.
So mhm,
I'm glad to
that's
hear that your involvement has been beneficial to you. I know that's a huge area for students and a big opportunity that
yes.
a lot of people need to get involved in, whether you be from here or from another country coming in. Um,
Mhm.
these organizations like PCMA and ICRE are all great opportunities for students to better themselves within their industries, definitely.
Mhm.
So can you touch on a little bit about your graduate research assistantship and some of your research interests? I know that before you mentioned your dissertation topic currently, but without giving away too much, are there any research endeavors that you're currently pursuing?
So I've been involved with the research work from fall 2019 with my major professor, and with him, I've worked along with like multiple projects over the period of time. And all the projects if I talk about the one of the major projects which we worked upon, it involved the use of service robots,
Mhm.
and like how does anthropomorphism affects that, right? So again, I'm telling you, like, more research interests are towards the event technology or the upcoming trends, and we have been working over there over the period of time. um, Other topics of research interest, if I must say, like, like the upcoming research interest will be more related to event technology only. And other than that, I've worked upon like small other projects as well with my professor, and they have been considered in few of the published journals as well. So that's the thing, like, it's like it's multiple projects over the period of time, but the main interest has always been either into event technology or into destination marketing or something like that. Mhm.
Very interesting. And as a PhD candidate, where you're at currently right now, what are your hopes and goals for the future?
So, of course, like after completing my PhD, I am looking forward to work in the education system, maybe as as a professor,
Mhm.
and work for the benefit of the students. Other than that, other than teaching, I will definitely be interested in completing my research responsibilities as well, to get involved with students and just to guide them over the period of time for their research work. And because this is what I can see that I have been enjoying a lot, like first is interaction with the students, which has been great over the period of time, and the second thing is research work. And I think both the responsibilities, they can definitely make you an efficient professor over the period of time.
Mhm.
Because I think first thing as a duty for you as a professor when you enter into this field is to guide students like in their research work. And of course you will be getting like a lot of PhD students under you, like in order to work towards their research work, right?
Mhm.
So I'm seeing myself maybe over the period of time working in the education industry as a professor, and let us hope for the best. I'm just looking out for options right now. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. And is that something that speaks volumes to you? Maybe, as you said, you're very interested in education itself and helping others. Um,
Mhm.
is is that one of your goals to hopefully pass on the knowledge to others?
Yes, definitely. I think this is the goal for every other professor which enters into the field,
Mhm.
because I think the prime responsibility of any professor who's entering into the education system is to pass on the education to others, to help them out, to help the students. And if I talk about the hospitality and event management program, I told you a lot of awareness needs to be spread about this program.
Mhm.
That there are like a lot of fields which people can work upon who are totally inclined in conducting such kind of research in this field. So of course, that is a prime responsibility which I think every person who is entering into the education system and who has the duty of teaching students, they should pass on the knowledge to other people as well. And help
Absolutely,
them out.
absolutely. And given the current trends, that these industries are facing, and your interests in both events and hospitality management related, where do you see the future of these industries headed?
So whatever literature and whatever papers and whatever things I've gone through over the period of time, I feel that two trends are very important in this industry, and which I can see over the period of time. First is sustainability. So
Mhm.
like sustainability over here means that as I think quoted by others as well, success of any business is totally seen and measured by the impact it has on its world, right? So I think the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, travel and tourism industry, they are more focused towards sustainable, having those measures so that the environment is not impacted at all, maybe by the use of plastics, or maybe by saving water or something like that, right? Or maybe avoid any kind of food wastage during these large programs or events.
Yep.
That is one of the trends. And second thing, I can feel that technology is growing. Technology is growing, and people are more concerned about enhancing the interaction with the customers with the use of technology. And I think it is very evident in the case of artificial intelligence technologies. Over the period of time, they have grown so far. And um, and I think the only cause of concern over here with the use of lot of technologies, maybe with service robots or any kind of digitized system, is the reliability on the of the use of the data, how they are using it over the period of time, right? And it should not go in like wrong hands, so that the customer experiences, like people are people should be very clear about the use of the data they are getting from such kind of technologies.
Mhm.
So that those are the future hospitality trends which I can feel that which are pretty evident. So
I
mhm.
I agree. I think in recent years, people have come to notice how important sustainability is, like you mentioned, one, and then also it's very evident that technology is going to be a part of all of our lives in the future, especially within the hospitality industry.
Yes. Mhm.
So, how do you personally believe Awesome is preparing the next generation of students, including those looking to make their mark on the hospitality industry?
um if I talk about awesome department, first is they have a great set of faculty members who are very cooperative, who are always there to help their students out in the be it in the form of research or any kind of help they need in the form of education. Second thing is, I think Awesome is pretty active in providing or maybe collaborating with several other departments or industries for the internships. So, if an undergrad student is willing to do an internship, and I think Awesome department, they are pretty good and they have the great faculty members and the links in the industry through which students can work and gain experience over the period of time, so that how they can know like how well the department is and they can come back and work with the department again.
Hmm.
Apart from that, um, yeah, I think these are the two things which I feel that they are trying a lot.
Hmm.
Third thing is like I think Awesome, they keep on revising their syllabus and the courses. They keep on adding new courses so that students they know how to go ahead with the courses, maybe gain some kind of learning from those courses, implement them in the internships, or just gain some practical experience in the form of internships and come back. That's it. I think these three things are Awesome are doing great, and I wish them all the best for this.
Absolutely. Yeah. What we have amazing faculty members and connections, network connections
Yes.
for
Mhm.
students to take advantage of um, at any point in their careers, their college careers, their um, post careers in graduation or graduate education and the industry. And then, as you
Yes.
said before, internships are a huge thing. Bria Jenkins, our coordinator for internships, does
Mhm.
great job at connecting students to those opportunities. And
Yes.
then also the roles that you said, the revisions of courses, the additions in new courses in our catalog. I think it's a great opportunity, especially with um, our recent student innovation center that was built on campus. Uh,
Mhm.
and there were a ton of new classes added for especially hospitality management majors where you can gain real world experience, help running a cafe or working in the kitchen or organizing events, and those are all great opportunities for students. So I absolutely agree. Awesome
Mhm.
is doing a great job at combining not only education with the industry, but also helping those students implement what they've learned in the classroom, and then help them, apply that in, their actual educational or internship opportunities. So,
Very true. Mhm.
absolutely. So, what would your advice be to students, both local and broad, who are interested in pursuing graduate education, let alone education in general, with Awesome at Iowa State?
Okay, so being an international student, I still feel that gaining some kind of experience along with education is very important,
Hmm.
and that is all we come up with the concept of experiential learning, wherein while working in the department or while pursuing your study, maybe undergrad or grad, it's very important for the students to gain some kind of experience in the form of internships. So in that way they will have that practical experience of related to the hospitality industry, and that is how they can apply this experience over the period of time and apply the education also over the period of time in the form of internships as well. um, Apart from that, for career development, I think they should always be in touch with the experts, and they should always be active on, like, maybe LinkedIn or some other career websites wherein they are in touch with the industry experts, so that they can get some kind of internships or maybe jobs in future. Because as an international student, sometimes it's like it's a cultural difference, which, wherein the students, they cannot come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, they have to be pretty active from the start, like, in order to get some kind of experience. Because of course, like, when you have gained some kind of experience back in your country, you would also like to gain that kind of experience here in this country as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that door should always be opened. And about the, I think, about the education, if they feel any kind of problems or issues with the education, or maybe with the peers or colleagues or something, they should be pretty open, and they should at least tell it to their to the professors or
Mm-hmm.
the people they are close with, so that they can share the problems that they are facing. And yeah, I think these three advices, they are, as an international student, I can give it to them. So that's the thing.
Absolutely, yeah, and they just need to realize that, you know, we as a department are giving everything that we can to help them
Yes.
succeed,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
obviously that's something that uh, they need to realize themselves, and we're always going to be there for them to help in
Yeah.
that situation. So I absolutely agree, and I
Hmm.
think a lot of students are going to agree and take what you have to heart, especially if they're considering joining Awesome. So, uh, very well said, Smita.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hmm.
That's all I have. Smita, I want to thank you for joining us on the podcast and sharing a little bit about your experience and how others can get involved within Awesome at Iowa State. So, thank you for joining us on this podcast.
Thank you for providing me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching. For more information, you can head over to Awesome online at www.awesome.hs.iastate.edu. And
Okay.
then you can also search up Awesome on social media by searching up AESHM. Everybody,
Okay.
thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.